Hey everyone, it's finally warm and sunny here in this beautiful Pacific Northwest, and I'm going to walk around the neighborhood. Do you like to join me? This is the best time of the year in this area. The trees are now getting covered in fresh green leaves, and you see beautiful flowers blooming everywhere. It has been around 15 years since I moved to this place from a completely different part of the world. It's indeed green, as they call it, the evergreen state, and I see so many types of plants everywhere I look. But despite being surrounded by so much natural beauty, I never really learned the names of the plants around me. Actually, I feel a bit embarrassed, and so I decided to change that this year. I'm making a special effort to learn more about the trees, flowers, and plants around me, and let us do it together if you like. I'm going to do it differently in two ways. Let me explain. These days, there are some really amazing plant identification apps out there. It's so simple. You just open the app, point your camera at a plant, snap a picture, and within seconds, the app gives you name of the plant. It's almost like magic. But here is the funny thing. While it's super convenient, I've noticed that it's also really easy to forget the name just as quickly as you found it. Last week I saw this plant with beautiful red flowers close to our house. Every year I see it, but this time I went and used my camera and the app to find its name. But I don't remember the name anymore. You know why we forget? Because there is no real connection to it. It's just a name on the screen, and before you know it, that name is gone from your memory. So I'm going to use a different approach to really learn about these plants in a way that sticks. Let me explain this new approach with an analogy. Imagine you don't know much about geography at all. If someone tells you that a person is from Namibia, Cambodia, or Nicaragua, it probably wouldn't mean much to you. You wouldn't have any context to make sense of it. But now let's say you do know a bit about the world's continents. You know that Namibia is in Africa, Cambodia is in Asia, and Nicaragua is in the Americas. Suddenly, just from this information alone, you can start making some reasonable guesses about what these people might look like, what language they might speak, and what kind of culture they come from, and so on. Having that bigger picture, the continents, helps you understand and interpret the details much more effectively. Just like how we can organize countries into continents to better understand geography, plants also have a kind of map that will help you make sense of their relationships. This map is called phylogeny, and it shows how different groups of plants are related to each other through evolution. Now, to give you a big picture view, kind of like describing the continents of the plant world, let's talk about three major groups: monocots, rosids, and asterids. Monocots are a huge group that include plants like grasses, lilies, and palm trees. One of their key features is their leaves. They usually have parallel veins running from the top to bottom, like blades of grass you see in a lawn. If you look at their flowers, you will often see that they have petals in multiples of three, like a lily with 3 or 6 petals. Rosids, you can recognize the name rose, is a huge group of important plants, and all of their flowers don't look like rose, but they form a large group. They include roses, beans, oaks, and many other fruit trees like apples and cherries. Many of these plants have complex flowers, and many of them play key roles in ecosystem and agriculture. If you have ever eaten a peanut or peach or cabbage, you have seen a rosid. Now let's talk about the last group, the asterids. This includes many of the familiar flowers like sunflowers, daisies, petunias, and also the crops like tomatoes, potatoes, and coffee. One of their defining traits is that their flowers often have fused petals, which can give them a tube-like or trumpet shape. The coffee you drink, the mint in your tea, or even the dandelions in your yard all belong to this group. So just like knowing the continents help you understand where different countries fit in the world, understanding these major plant groups, monocots, rosids, and asterids, will give you a better sense of how plants are related and why they share certain characteristics. The second unique thing about my approach is that I'll be using something called molecular phylogeny, or put in simple terms, I'll be looking at the DNA sequences to understand how the plants are related. DNA data can be pretty complicated. If you don't have a background in the field, it's not exactly easy to interpret. It's just long sequences of letters, and making sense of it requires some technical knowledge. But don't worry, I have an app that takes all that complex DNA information and presents it in a way that's visual and easy to understand. So instead of starting at confusing raw data, you'll be able to see relationships between the plants in a clear and intuitive way. I'll discuss that in the next video.